What if everything you know about life, about how things work, about what's possible, is based on a misunderstanding? You've been taught that life unfolds on its own, that external events happen without your input, and you're just here to react, survive, adapt. But the truth is far more radical. Your mind isn't a spectator, it's the architect. Right now, your thoughts are shaping the world around you. That isn't just metaphor, it's physics. In groundbreaking experiments, scientists discovered something mind-bending. Particles change their behavior depending on whether they're being observed. In other words, awareness itself impacts reality. Let that sink in. Reality adapts based on attention. So what does that mean for you? It means your daily focus, where your mind goes, carries real consequences. Every mental image, every emotional charge, every belief you repeat is sculpting your personal experience of life. Yet nearly everyone has been conditioned to see reality as fixed, to believe that circumstances are carved in stone, and so they live on autopilot, reinforcing the same struggles over and over, not because they lack power, but because they're pointing their energy in the wrong direction. Here's what's even more astonishing. The version of you who's confident, free, and fully in control already exists. So does the version who's abundant. So does the one who's deeply fulfilled. But none of them can emerge unless you stop staring at the same tired picture of yourself and start focusing on something new. This isn't fiction. It's not wishful thinking. It's a proven system, one that's been hidden, suppressed, or dismissed as fantasy, even though it's been right in front of us all along. Your attention is the trigger, your mind, the mechanism, your life, the result. You were never just observing reality, you've been directing it. Most people assume thoughts are just quiet whispers in the mind, fleeting ideas that vanish as quickly as they come. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Your thoughts aren't confined to your head. They radiate outward, literally. Every time you think, you emit energy, not symbolically, not poetically, scientifically. Each thought carries a frequency, and that frequency interacts with the field around you. Your brain is more than a processor of ideas. It behaves like a quantum-level transmitter, constantly generating electric signals that ripple beyond your physical body. This energy isn't abstract, it's measurable, and it's constantly shaping how your life unfolds. Inside your brain cells are microscopic structures, tiny tubes known as microtubules. Some of the world's top researchers suggest these may operate like biological quantum processors. That means your mind doesn't just run thoughts. It may literally be influencing the building blocks of reality itself. And here's the kicker. This process is happening whether you're aware of it or not. You're always broadcasting something. The question is, what kind of signal are you putting out? People who intentionally rewire their thinking, those who focus on confidence, abundance, clarity, often begin to notice incredible changes around them. New relationships, unexpected opportunities, a sudden lift in momentum. It's not coincidence, it's not luck, it's resonance. You don't need special tools. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need to become conscious of what you're projecting and realize that every thought is a signal, a message, a magnetic pulse calling reality to respond. Once you truly grasp this, thinking becomes something entirely different. It's no longer passive, it's powerful. It's the lever that shifts everything. What you picture in your mind doesn't just stay in your imagination, it starts to shape what happens around you. Not in theory, in practice. Here's the truth. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something physically experienced. When you mentally rehearse a scenario with emotional clarity, your body responds as if it's real. And that response, emotional, neurological, energetic, reaches beyond your skin. You've probably felt stuck at some point. Whether it's with money, relationships, health, or confidence, the first step out of that cycle isn't action, it's perception. You have to see something different before you can live something different. So let's make this practical. Choose an area of your life where things feel blocked. Now describe how you currently view it, honestly. Then flip the script. Imagine the exact opposite. If your mind says, I always struggle with money, replace it with resources flow to me effortlessly. And don't just say it, feel it. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Picture yourself inside that new version of reality. Notice the sounds, the feelings, the pace of your thoughts. Let the version of you who's already thriving step forward. Allow it to feel true, just for a minute. In that short time, something significant happens. Your subconscious receives a new signal. Your energetic field begins to adjust, and the more often you repeat this, the stronger the shift becomes. This isn't daydreaming, it's deliberate, it's strategic. And over time, it transforms the landscape of your life. What you mentally rehearse, you energetically invite. Visualization isn't just a tool, it's a training ground for the reality you're calling in. For most of your life, you've probably been told that the brain is in charge, that it's the control center of everything you think, feel, and do. But science now tells a different story, a surprising one. Your heart isn't just a pump, it's a powerhouse. It generates an electromagnetic field thousands of times stronger than your brain's. This field surrounds your body, shifts with your emotions, and connects with the environment in ways we're only beginning to understand. And when your emotions and thoughts are aligned, when your heart and mind are in sync, something powerful happens. This state is called coherence. It's when your internal rhythms harmonize. In this state, your body becomes more efficient, your decisions clearer, and your influence over your reality amplifies. It's not a metaphor, it's measurable. But here's where most people get it wrong. They try to think their way into transformation without changing how they feel. And that's a dead end. You can wish for abundance, but if you're emotionally anchored in fear, the signal you're sending out contradicts your intention. You can affirm confidence all day long, but if doubt is the dominant feeling in your body, the energy you project won't support the outcome you want. You have to embody the frequency of the result before it arrives. That means practicing gratitude before the success shows up, feeling worthy before you see the relationship, walking with certainty even while your external world is still catching up. When you activate your heart's energy intentionally by combining focused thought with elevated emotion, you begin to create real impact in the field around you. And others feel it too. They respond to you differently. Opportunities open up. Reality begins to rearrange itself. Your emotional state is the real switch, and your heart is the amplifier. If you learn how to use that system, if you make it a habit, you're no longer guessing your way through life. You're broadcasting alignment, and life starts responding in ways you never imagined. Have you ever thought about someone moments before they texted you, or walked into a room and instantly picked up on the mood without anyone saying a word? That's not coincidence, it's connection. At the quantum level, everything is linked. Particles that were once close can remain connected across vast distances, instantly reacting to changes in each other. No wires, no signals, no delay. And as strange as it sounds, the same concept applies to people. Your energy field is not isolated. It interacts with those around you even without physical contact. Thoughts and emotions don't just live inside your body. They ripple outward, subtly shaping conversations, interactions, and events before they even unfold. This is why some individuals seem to effortlessly attract aligned opportunities, while others remain stuck in patterns that push away what they want. It's not always about actions. It's about the frequency they're operating from and how it resonates with the world. When your field is clouded by insecurity or fear, it emits a signal that can repel the very things you desire. But when you shift into clarity, certainty, and trust, your energy changes. People feel it, circumstances shift, things begin to move. You don't have to say a word for your energy to speak volumes. The relationships you attract, the timing of events, even the flow of resources, these are all influenced by the silent message you're constantly broadcasting. You're not just connected to others through what you say or do. You're woven into an unseen web of energy, and every thought, every emotion is a thread in that network. Master the signal you send, and you begin to influence the responses you receive without needing to control a single external thing. Most people wake up every day inside the same invisible pattern, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and expecting the same results. not because they want to stay stuck, but because no one ever told them they could break the cycle. You've probably felt it, that sense of trying so hard to move forward, yet somehow ending up in the same spot. That's not because you're broken. It's because your energy keeps dialing into the same frequency, one built on past experiences, repeated beliefs, and a mental map that says, this is just how it is, but it's not. You can interrupt that pattern, and it starts with awareness. The moment you realize your attention has been feeding the version of life you don't want, you take back control. It's not enough to want something different. You have to feel something different. Let's try this right now. Think of one area where you've been feeling stuck. Be honest about how you currently view it. Then flip the script. Imagine what the opposite would look and feel like, not just conceptually, but emotionally. Now close your eyes, take a breath, feel yourself. Inside that new reality, as if it's happening now, let your body respond. Let that version of you become familiar, not foreign. When you do this, something begins to shift. Your nervous system gets a new signal. Your energy starts tuning to a new station. And if you keep doing it consistently, your external world will start to adjust to match. Most people never make it past that first moment of doubt. They wait for life to give them proof before they believe. But the real shift happens when you believe first and watch the proof follow. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need to wait for evidence. You just need to stop feeding the loop that's been playing on repeat. You're not here to survive the program. You're here to rewrite it. You generate energy every second, whether you're aware of it or not. It's flowing through you, powering your thoughts, fueling your actions, and quietly shaping your experience. But most people never learn how to manage it. So they burn out by midday, reach for caffeine to stay alert, and wonder why they feel drained even after resting. Here's the truth: your energy isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, and electrical. It flows through invisible pathways in your body, much like current through wires. When that flow is smooth, you feel clear, motivated, alive. But when it's blocked or leaking, fatigue, tension, and confusion set in. Ancient traditions knew this. They mapped these energy systems thousands of years ago. Breathing techniques, movement practices, and intentional stillness weren't spiritual trends. They were tools to direct life force with precision. Modern science is now catching up. We know that certain breathing patterns regulate your nervous system, shift your brainwaves, and reduce energy loss. We know posture influences how energy moves through your spine. We know emotions can either fuel or drain you. And the best part? You don't need decades of training to begin. You just need awareness and a few consistent habits. Try this. Take 3 deep, slow breaths. Let the air fill your belly before rising into your chest. Exhale gently and drop your shoulders as you release. Feel that? That's energy movement. Simple, powerful, immediate. Or think of a time you felt unstoppable, fully in flow. That wasn't random. Your body and mind were synced. Your internal environment was primed for high output. The key is learning how to recreate that intentionally. Physical activity, clean nutrition, conscious breathing, all of these charge your system. But emotions play an equally important role. Anger and worry drain. Joy and presence replenish. Every time you pause, breathe, move intentionally, or shift your emotional state, you're training your energy system to become more resilient. Like a muscle, it strengthens with use. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, high energy becomes your baseline, not something you chase when you're low. Energy mastery isn't about hacks. It's about alignment. It's about learning how to live in a way that fuels you instead of depleting you. You're not here to run on fumes. You're here to build a system that sustains your power day after day. Long before laboratories and peer-reviewed journals, people were already working with energy. They didn't call it electromagnetism or quantum fields. They called it chi, prana, life force. They didn't have machines, but they had something just as powerful: awareness. These ancient systems, like Qigong, Reiki, breathwork, and meditation, were built on a deep understanding of how energy moves through the body. They mapped it through sensation, through presence, through thousands of years of direct observation. And now modern science is starting to confirm what those practices already knew. We now have tools to measure heart rhythms, track brainwaves, and map the electromagnetic field that surrounds your body. Research shows that your emotional state shapes the quality of that field. When you're calm and clear, it becomes ordered and coherent. When you're stressed, it turns chaotic, disrupting the body's natural balance. Your breath is a direct gateway into this system. Slow, intentional breathing shifts your nervous system into a state of restoration. It lowers stress hormones, it brings energy back online, and it's available to you at any moment. You can feel energy without needing to believe anything mystical. Try placing your hands a few inches apart, palms facing. Tune in. Most people begin to notice subtle pressure, warmth, or tingling. That's not imagination, it's real sensory feedback from your field. From there, you can learn to move it. Visualize that sensation expanding or traveling between your hands. With practice, this control becomes more refined. You can use energy intentionally. Want to focus at work? Breathe deep, ground your body, and picture mental clarity pouring into the room. Want to shift a heavy mood in your space? Envision light moving through it, sweeping out the stagnation. Energy isn't just about what you receive, it's also about what you give. If you're constantly taking in without releasing, imbalance builds. You can reset that through nature, creativity, service, or silence. You've probably noticed how some places or people feel heavy, while others leave you refreshed. That's energy at play. And the more tuned in you become, the more easily you can shift it within yourself and around you. None of this is guesswork anymore. We're in an age where ancient knowledge is being validated by modern data. The bridge is built, and now you have access to both sides. Reality isn't as solid as it looks. At the smallest scale, the universe plays by rules that defy logic. Particles behaving like waves, matter existing in multiple states, outcomes shifting based on what's being focused on. These aren't science fiction ideas. They're scientific facts, and they don't just apply to particles in labs, they apply to you. Your body is built from atoms, and those atoms obey quantum laws. That means your energy, your thoughts, your awareness, all of it operates within the same mysterious system. One key principle: observation changes outcomes. When a particle is watched, it behaves differently. That tells us that awareness is not neutral, it's participatory. Your focus helps determine how reality unfolds. Another: possibilities exist simultaneously. In quantum terms, it's called superposition. In simple terms, multiple versions of your life are already possible. The confident you, the successful you, the peaceful you. They're all potential outcomes waiting for your attention to choose one. Then there's the quantum Zeno effect, a phenomenon where continuous observation slows change. Focus locks things in place. That means where you place your attention again and again is what you stabilize in your experience, and it doesn't stop there. Quantum entanglement reveals that things once connected remain linked, no matter how far apart. This isn't just theory. It explains those strange gut feelings, those coincidences, those times when someone calls right after you think of them. Even the tiniest fluctuations, quantum jitters in empty space, hold vast amounts of energy. This field, often referred to as zero-point energy, surrounds us constantly. Learning to direct energy means learning to access more of that potential. But there's a catch. Doubt collapses possibility. Fear narrows your options. If your mind is locked in disbelief, quantum effects default to what you already know. But when your intention is clear and your belief solid, you start opening doors that were invisible before. So how do you apply this? You start by watching your energy, how you feel, what you expect, where your focus lives. Then you practice holding attention with purpose instead of reacting out of habit. That alone starts to shift your personal field. Use visualization not just as daydreaming, but as training. Imagine different outcomes. Imagine multiple versions of yourself, succeeding in parallel paths. You're teaching your brain and your energy how to operate at a new level. The more consistent you are, the stronger your signal becomes. Start with what you can observe. Try small tests. Notice how your inner state affects your outer results. Let your own life become the experiment. Quantum science isn't here to confuse you. It's here to remind you nothing is fixed, nothing is final. Your focus is the steering wheel. You weren't meant to live on autopilot, but that's what most people do, waking up, going through routines, reacting to the world as if it's already been written. Not because they lack ambition, but because no one showed them that reality is adjustable, moldable, rewritable. The truth is, energy flows through everything. From your breath to your beliefs, from your food to your thoughts, each element plays a role in how much power you have available at any moment. And the more intentional you become, the more you shift from reacting to directing. Think of your body like a rechargeable battery. Every movement, every bite, every emotion either charges or depletes it. Yet most people leak energy constantly, through stress, poor habits, mental clutter, and emotional chaos. Want clarity? Start with structure, clean food, deep rest, focused movement. But don't stop there. Tune your emotional state the same way you'd tune an instrument. When you're anxious, your energy is scattered. When you're present, it gathers. Confidence, gratitude, purpose. These are not just feelings, they're signals. They broadcast your readiness to receive and create. Your breath is a tool, not just for survival, but for control. Conscious breathing shifts your internal state in seconds. Cold exposure, sunlight, hydration, posture. These all influence how your energy flows. And when you learn to pay attention, you begin to notice what feeds your system and what drains it. It's not just about high energy, it's about clean energy, sustainable power that comes from alignment, not effort. Want proof this works? Try something small. Hold your hands near each other and notice the space between. Focus on it. Move the energy. With time, you'll feel it build, just like training a muscle. Use that same skill to direct energy toward your goals, your healing, your growth. Track your shifts. Notice the moments where you feel most alive. Build your days around those. Let life become your testing ground. And as you gain strength, be wise with how you use it. Don't burn out. Don't overextend. Protect your energy as much as you expand it. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about accessing more of who you've always been. You don't have to wait for permission, or for a sign, or for the perfect moment. The shift begins when you decide it does. Reality isn't something you're stuck inside, it's something you get to shape with every thought, every breath, every intention. You are not the result of your circumstances. You are the one who writes them,